So today I would like to continue the topic about diṭṭhi, about views, about opinions, and how clinging or grasping to all these opinions creates suffering and create a conflict between people. So the sutta, what I like to point out, it's Māgaṇḍiyasuttaṃ in Samyutta Nikaya, in Atthakavagga, have Māgaṇḍiyasuttaṃ, and this sutta have some kind of story background, because it just start from replying how the Buddha reply on something, and this something commentary explains that Māgaṇḍiya, he was a Brahmin, and he had a daughter, like very beautiful daughter, and he somehow get some confidence towards the Buddha and decided to offer for him his daughter, because for him it was the best treasure what he have. He tried to offer it to the Buddha, and the Buddha replies, I would read, Disvana tanham aratin ragancha nahosi chandona pimetunasmi. So he say, who have seen the three daughters of Mara, like we know this, Tanha, Arati, and Raga, it's the names of three daughters of Mara. So they can be translated as craving, discontent, and desire or grasping. So, and he say, who have seen these three daughters of Mara, and in whom on that occasion even not the slightest sensual desire arose. Kin evidam mutan karisapunam padam pinan samphusitam na iche. So for this person cannot even desire touch with his foot this body full of urine and feces. So this is very common Buddhist approach, like to see the body as something filthy, something not beautiful, something disgusting, like full of all the impurities what our body have. And he here doesn't speak only about Māgaṇḍiya's daughter, yeah, he just speak about any human body, it doesn't matter. And we know that for the Buddha and as well as for any enlightened being, there is no sensual desire. That's why he don't need these kind of offerings like daughter or wife or female slave or whatever. So it's a kind of background story. It tells us that Māgaṇḍiya already have a unpleasant attitude towards the Buddha. He tried to offer his daughter, and Buddha say, you offer for me body full of feces and urine. And he, of course, he offended, it's his daughter. Etadisam che ratam na ichasi, naram narin hidehi bahu hipatam. And he asked him in return, I'm wondering, if you reject this, the best gift, the best jewel among the world, what all other kings and royals, they wish and desire, my daughter, but you reject her. And I'm wondering, why? What are you preaching? What are you arguing for? What you trying to defend with your words? What is your opinion? What is your idea? What is your diṭṭhi? What is your kind of views? Idam vadami tan natas hoti. Dhamme sunicheya samuggahitam. So, and the Buddha replied that this idea, I arguing in defense of that or this, does not occur to my mind, because I see whatever view can be, but I not grasp towards any of them. So he say he don't try to defend anything. He don't try to prove something to someone, but he don't do it not because of ignorance or misunderstanding. He don't do it because he know and see, but he don't see a point to defend something. He don't grasp to any idea. And also he says that the sage who have seen, he practice and live in inner peace. And Māgaṇḍiya replied to him that what are you talking about? I don't understand. What's inner peace you talking about? What a state, what arahant have? Please explain. And the Buddha replied, Na diṭṭhiya na suttiya na ñānena silabhate na pi na sadhimaha. So he says that purity, I declare that purity does not attain by view, by knowledge, by jnana, by like insight, even by any sila, morality, by any vata, by any religious practice. So he say like the purity or final nibbana, it is not the same as a like purification of view or purification of knowledge or even purification of understanding, like deep inside. But also he says that adiṭṭhiya, asuttiya, anyana. So without diṭṭhi, without view and without knowledge and without morality and without practice, without this it's also impossible to attain the purity. But depending on this, so understanding this and practicing this, and without grasping, not clinging on it, not taking it near, the peaceful sage, like his peace, don't depend on anything. His peace not just come from meditation, for example. Like he just peaceful without any condition. So he attains the final goal, and he not praise or not desire any future existence. So here maybe can be good example from Rathavinita Sutta, when the Buddha give a simile when one king want to reach the place from his palace, he want to reach the place in another city, in another town. And to achieve this, he come out from his chamber, sit on the first horse, go to some point, then change the horse, go to another point, again change the horse, and like this, like 7 times. And finally he come to the place and come out from the horse and enter the palace. So he say in the same way, like we need all these steps in our practice, like sila and like some religious practice, some like whatever practices we do. We need understanding. We need, even in that sutta mentioning jnana dasana, like knowledge and seeing. We need all of these things. But these just the steps to attain liberation. By itself, it's not there. It's not the goal. And Māgaṇḍiya reply to this, when the Buddha told him, like, not by view, not by practice, one is pure, and not without view, not without practice, one is pure. But not grasping to it, he kind of using this, he not grasping it. And Māgaṇḍiya reply that Anyana maham momoha meva dhammam diṭṭhiya eke pachakenti sadhim. So he say like, I think, I imagine that the Dhamma, whatever you just told to me, it's confused Dhamma. It's like deluded. They call it momoha. Like, moha is just delusion, but momoha is like strong delusion, complete delusion. So he also, again, like he was offended by Buddha's rejection, and in general he didn't understand anything. And he say, why? Because some, and including himself as well, depend on the view and believe that this is view or any other practices, this is purity. So we may remember that he was a Brahmin, and Brahmanic culture, it's like you do your rituals and that's how you purify yourself. Like you bath in the Ganga or do whatever pujas and you become pure. So he believed in this, and all his culture believed in this. Diṭṭhaṃ ca nissāya anupachhamano samuggahitesu pamohamagu. And the Buddha replied to him that because you ask this question depending on your view and attached to your opinion, that's why you see my words as a foolish. So it doesn't mean that my words is foolish. It means you attach to your view. That's why you cannot see the point. Samo vise sidava nihino yomanyati so vivadeta tena. And then he says that whoever think in the categories of equal, inferior or superior, whoever compare himself, whoever compare others, he always would be grasped to any idea or quarreling. So here it's interesting practical point, because when I have some view, when I have some diṭṭhi, it's very difficult to see it. It's very deep. It's not very rare come to surface. Usually we see just like some thoughts or ideas or feelings may come, but view or opinion, it's something what's underline all these things. It's affect all our behavior, but it's much more deeper. It's much more like fundamental. And to see that I have a view by itself, it's very difficult. Yeah. But how we can see it? Buddha say, like, who compare something or even myself as inferior or superior. So if I have some idea, strong idea, like, yeah, okay, here the chairs shouldn't be like this, like the distance should be much bigger, yeah. So, and I strongly I have a strong opinion about this, and I may argue with someone, oh, like, please move this chair, it's unsuitable. It means I try to compare it, like how it was before, maybe how it will be in the future, and it means I have some underlying view behind this. So this strong with someone, or some things, or some people, whatever, or even ideas, teachings, it might say that I have attachment to any view. I have some kind of things what I cannot let go. That's why I try to argue with it. That's why I try to, like, promote my idea to something. Again, like, it doesn't mean that when, for example, I read some book, or I speak with someone who may be my future teacher, for example, yeah, and in my mind I may check, okay, whatever he say or whatever book say, would it be relevant for my practice? Would it be helpful? Like, if I try this, okay, it would work or not? And in this way, I can choose the path. Yeah, I can correct my practice. I can see, okay, according to scriptures, how I practice, it's like beneficial or not beneficial. But if I have some idea that, okay, this is true and everything else is wrong, and whoever speak against this, I try to attack him and point him his mistake, it's a sign that I need to first settle myself rather than try to point out the mistake of other person. Sachanti so brahmano kin vadeya musati vaso vadeta kena. So he say, like, the arahat, like enlightened person who realized that this comparison, like inferior or superior or equal, there's no point to do this. He would never, like, really fight for any idea that this is true, everything else is wrong. So he kind of would be, he knows the truth, how, like Buddha told before. I saw and I know and I see, but I don't argue for this. So it's a kind of different level. O kampahaya aniketa sare game akubba muni santavanti. He say, like, the sage, like, abandoning home, letting go of any attachment, he wandering without home. And in the village or in the world, he don't make any, like, intimate relationship. He don't attach to anyone. Kame hirita apure karano katana vigaiha janena karya. So he says that free from sensual pleasure and don't have any preferences. So he has a link that he don't prefer something what is inferior or superior or equal, and he don't argue. That's why he don't argue with anyone. So this small passage we may see in Samyutta Nikaya, in Halitakani Sutta. We have a comment by Venerable Mahakaccana for this passage. So it's again not only this, but it's together may tell us that Atthakavagga and Parayanavagga and Sutta Nipata, it's a kind of earliest part of Buddha's teaching. Like, among all his career of teaching, it was the earliest teaching, because we have a suttas what actually comment this sutta. And there Mahakaccana explains that, like, the line one who abandoned the home and wandering without home, he say it's kind of a more deeper level than whoever don't have any desire or grasping towards any experience, so he abandoned the home. But whoever have a desire or grasping to any, like, sixth sense based whatever experience it's come, he wandering in the home. So it's not only about monastic or, like, household, it's on more deeper level. So, and, like, from the practical point of view, what we can try, what we can do, yeah? Like, remember in this sutta, we can try and see how whatever come to our experience, how among all these many particles of experience, like whatever sights, sounds, ideas, like by itself, if you're just watching it, it's just phenomena what just arise and pass away. It's like, it's very It's like when there is a rain or snow, like a lot of like drops or a lot of small snows. It's just many things. But we and our mind have a tendency to make something from this, to make the ideas, make some beliefs or strong, even belief system, and then fight for it. So from practical point of view, we may see how it's happened, like how whatever I hear, how it may influence my view, how it may influence my behavior, and whatever I think, whatever arises in my mind, how I form my view. And if it's possible to see the conditioned phenomena of this process, it would be possible to let go, because like why I need to cling to something it's not me, not mine, just like arise and pass away. Also another practice, whenever I see, when I attach to any view, whenever I try to like really fight to someone or to prove to someone this idea, I may ask myself like, okay, when this idea, like when I come to this conclusion, when I think that this is true, everything else is wrong, and I may reflect, okay, when I was born, no. When I was like, and the first, like, let's say 20 years of my life, when I was educating and stuff like this, and I reflect, no. Then maybe when I was just ordained, when I become a monk, then no. And it's turned out that this idea actually become very strong just last few months, you know. But I already cling to it and I'm ready to like fight for this and maybe even die for this. So knowing this, that all these things are conditioned phenomena and they changing, like in my life, in your life, all these things just changing our opinions and ideas. It may help to let go, because if I grasp to something, I'm suffer and I would be like arguing with someone. But if I don't grasp, I will be free and I will be happy. So I wish all of us to be free from any clinging or grasping and be ultimately happy. Sad.